People who have had sex with someone with a disability of some sorts, what was different about that experience? I had an ex who had his leg amputated above the knee. More room to reach my clit during sex for orgasms. Otherwise pretty much the same. Looks thoughtfully at sleeping boyfriend. New BuzzFeed article. Try this crazy trick that helps you lose weight and improve your sex life. Ex-boyfriend of mine had a seizure as a baby and lost all use of his left arm. And it atrophied. Didn't bother me at all. Definitely didn't affect his performance either. Though I don't remember ever have sex missionary. He also worked as a landscaper. And did more with one arm than I do with both of mine. Good person. But had anger issues. My first serious relationship was with a girl who was a type 1 diabetic for about a year. Whenever we had sex I had to be careful not to hit her insulin sites, which was sometimes difficult because they moved around her body and she liked it very rough. Before sex she would just tell me something like my site is on my ass so try not to hit it. And I'd stay clear of it. During my first few times having sex outside of that relationship I would sometimes think I wonder where her site is so I can avoid it before slapping myself for being stupid. My boyfriend has muscle weakness issues. Just means some positions don't work out for him, and he can't pick me up usually. Not a huge deal though. He also has Tourette's. And one time let out a loud screech in the middle of getting busy. Had a good laugh over it. Killed the mood though. Be me. Pull hot normie. Get sex. Halfway through. One time my ex-wife, who had regular seizures, had said hit me in the face so I reeled back and slapped the shit out of her. Later I found out she had said it's in my face as in, her seizure had spread to her face. We had a laugh about it later but it was a sticking point for a while that I'd slapped her during a seizure. I f***ed a guy with type 1 diabetes once. His blood sugar dropped super low during the act and he was feeling it, his monitor alarms were going off and everything. We had to stop and go out to eat right away. At least take me to dinner first. I dated someone with an inoperable brain tumor once. We hooked up for the first time drunk after a Halloween party and were full on going at it until she had a major tonic seizure. Unfortunately she had failed to mention to me that she had epilepsy and I freaked out thinking something was horribly wrong. When she finally came to, she explained that it rarely happened during sex and was actually a very very good thing. So I got to check off orgasm-induced seizure from my bucket list. I have partial paralysis in my legs after an injury. I can't think my way into being turned on. I need to be touched because it's all physical. Hasn't been problem with both the men and women I've been with. However I still have yet to be eaten out in my wheelchair lol. Meals on wheels. He's gonna hate me for posting this. But my so is a below the knee amputee. Missionary is tilted slightly to the left. If it's anywhere but a bed he has to keep his leg on. But damn he's so sexy with his prosthetic on and nothing else. This is kinda the reverse. But I'm basically a transradial amputee on my left arm. The amount of women who have wondered aloud what the nub would feel like is staggering. Still not stuck it in anyone though. On the plus side, if my dick is ever not satisfactory, I have a built-in plus-size dildo. On the plus side, if my dick is ever not satisfactory, I have a built-in plus-size dildo. That's pretty handy. My wife has cerebral palsy. She's pretty normal except for her legs can't separate much. It isn't an issue except when I try to go down on her and she almost suffocated me. You are my new Marvel superhero. The muffler. Ex-girlfriend has severe narcolepsy. For once, I wasn't the reason a woman fell asleep during sex. Also after we broke up I got to make jokes about how for the past year I only slept with women who were passed out from GHB. Spoiler. It's a narcolepsy treatment that she had to take every night. No, I didn't do stuff to her while she was KO'd except for roll her over so she didn't suffocate. I myself was born with a heart defect that causes me to get really tired really fast. Sex can be hit or miss because of this. Most positions I'm okay with. The problem is if my wife and I are having sex someplace other than a bed. For example, sex in front of the fireplace is a no-go cause. If I have to support myself for an extended period of time I turn blue from lack of oxygen and well no more sex lol. My blood pressure being what it is also can cause issues with performance, but luckily my wife and I know what each other likes so it doesn't take long. Ain't no marathon sessions going on in this bedroom lol. First, my condition is called tricuspid atresia. It's a birth defect of the heart that causes the tricuspid valve in the heart not to form properly. So basically what that means is that the part of the heart that normally sends your blood to your lungs to get oxygenated isn't there. So you get no oxygen in your blood, which causes me to get tired. I've had multiple open heart surgeries to correct this. First one at 3 days old. So for me it's pretty hard to do even the simplest of tasks sometimes because of this. It's gotten easier as I've gotten older. My cardiologist has even mentioned I'm very high functioning for someone with this condition. Even still, chasing a 3-year-old while having this condition is rough. Second, yes, my wife is very understanding and there are times where we're unable to finish. Now most times when this happens I've usually done enough to get here there, but for me it's not happening. She feels bad for me when this happens. But she has stated that usually whenever we have sex a few days later after a failed attempt on my part one try to go longer than usual, and she has told me that I don't need to feel like I need to make up for anything. We've even had times where she wants me to just finish and not worry about her. But me being me, I can't do that, so I help her after I've finished. Also yes, we have used toys in the bedroom. We have tried other positions that are easier for me. Missionary is best cause it doesn't put a lot of strain on me to try and support either myself or her. Plus the wife likes that one best anyway. For those who have mentioned that they as well get tired fast. If you think it is something going on with your heart, don't wait around. Get that looked into ASAP. Heart issues aren't something to ignore, so please get it looked at if you feel it might be. It might not be anything to do with your heart, but don't take that chance. I don't know if this counts, but I dated a girl older than me who had some sickness that made her bones brittle. Also she had some minor autism. When it came to sex you had to be very gentle to not break her. Was an interesting experience when you were a young eager man. A near-deaf girl I dated often forgot about the volume of her voice. I couldn't look the neighbors in the eye after that. My so has PTSD pretty bad. Some things can really trigger her. Certain sensations especially. So I have to shave, and if we're doing more serious things it's good to have lights on so she has a sense of space. Sometimes I have to stop and comfort her until she stops dissociating. But I don't mind. Over time I've learned what triggers it so it doesn't happen much anymore. Wow. Something I can actually really relate to and post about. My fiancée wears a prosthetic on her left leg, as she was born with an underdeveloped leg. Not a concern at all in my view. She's the single most delightful woman I've ever met. And in bed she's the best lover I've ever had. An extremely cool byproduct of how her body has developed is that she has by and far the best ass I've ever had the blessing to enjoy. As because she doesn't walk normally a hip-driven slightly sideways gait, both of her sides need to work that little bit harder than most people do. Hence, booty of a goddess. She also has a teeny tiny little baby foot, which I think is cute as hell. Update. I didn't expect such a huge response. Thanks for the silver. And the comments made me laugh a lot. I'm a disabled guy and I've never had any complaints when it comes to performance. The tricky part is sustaining a relationship while accounting for additional needs. Long term it can get stressful and cause the relationship to break down. I am a nurse and was taking care of a lady with a colostomy. I walked in one night and her husband was having only what I can call PIS. Penis in stoma, what the opening from your abdomen that empties your bowels into the colostomy bag is called. Sex with her. Was horrified. But later googled it and stoma love is a fetish all in itself. This was several years ago and still hear about it from coworkers. Of all the things I've learned on this comment section tonight, this is the one I regret, cause now I have to live with this knowledge. I'm in a long-term relationship with a fabulous woman who is paralyzed from the neck down. I did perceive her disability to be a bit of a disqualifier before our relationship. I was a powerlifting gym bro, and pictured being with a similarly ripped gym girl who could keep up with me and challenge me. Like we could build our relationship around our fitness commitments or some bullshit. But my girl won me over almost effortlessly with her intelligence, wit, and personality. Nobody can make me laugh like she can. And certainly no one can challenge me to be a better person like she can. As for the gym stuff, my physical strength ended up pretty useful in helping to move her around and keep her comfortable. And she thinks I'm sexy. In a way, it seems I was training for something I could have never anticipated. The sex is fun. She's kinky. And very visually oriented. But, aside from the obvious above the neck stuff, there isn't a lot of physical feedback she can give. That can make it difficult at times. And there's always the risk of hurting her by getting too creative with positions. We were a lot more adventurous at the start of things. But through a few painful learning experiences we've found what works and what doesn't. She's in pain a lot of the time, which somewhat limits how much we can do. It's unfortunate. But we have developed some pretty good communication skills. When it's good, though, it's unbelievable. She's my best friend and I wouldn't exchange her for anyone. Both my girlfriend and I are pretty badly asthmatic, so like sometimes after we finish we both go straight for the inhalers. It's still great though. His deviated septum meant I had to keep switching sides to avoid the nose whistle. Doot doot. My ex-boyfriend was paralyzed, his dick worked and he didn't wear diapers, just FYI. He was really strong so I didn't really notice that he couldn't use his legs. I don't know why I am imagining a centaur character except half squid. Probably because you're trying to achieve the fourth nut of the evening.